Hello, thanks so much for clicking on this video. The creators of our YouTube channel are future early childhood educators passionate about movement in the classroom. Specifically, this YouTube channel focuses on early mathematics and movement. Our YouTube channel serves as an educational resource for current or other future early childhood educators. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel. We are passionate about incorporating movement into the classroom because movement is really beneficial for children in general. There are many physical benefits of movement, psychological benefits of movement, social benefits of movement, and even cognitive benefits of movement. Additionally, through research, we've found that movement is an effective engagement strategy and that movement helps improve children's mathematical understanding. In this video, I'm going to share a lesson idea for a measurement lesson that incorporates movement. This lesson was created for first grade students, but it could be adjusted to work for any grade level. There are two main Colorado academic standards that were used in the creation of this lesson, and they both come from the measurement and data standards from the Colorado Academic Standards. The setting for this lesson was designed to take place outside of the classroom, ideally in an area with concrete, so maybe on a playground or a school basketball court if that is available. And the teacher will pair students based on mathematical levels. So maybe one higher level student and one lower level student are partnered together. But ultimately it's up to the teacher and how they would like to partner their students. The materials needed for this lesson, each student will need a data collection sheet, which is demonstrated on the right in a picture, a clipboard and a pencil. And then each pair of students will have a piece of sidewalk chalk and their choice of measurement tools. So my examples for this lesson are popsicle sticks, Unifix cubes, or rulers. But you can of course use whatever materials you have available to you. And if your students are working with standard units of measurement, you could of course use meter sticks or rulers for them to take their measurements with. So now I'm going to summarize the procedure for this lesson. Feel free to pause the video anytime if you would like to stop and read all the details. So to start, the teacher will place the students in pairs, and then the students will collect all their materials. And then before the students begin the activity, it would be a good idea to have the students watch the teacher model the expected steps to prevent any confusion while the students are completing the activity. So once the students have found a spot to complete the activity, they will make a mark with the chalk for their starting line for their jumps, and then they will take turns doing the different jumps offered to them. So I have offered a forward jump, which would just be like a normal jump, a backward jump, which would be a backward jump, and then a sideways jump, which would be standing sideways and then jumping to the side, a squatted jump, which might be squatting down and then trying to see how far you can jump from that position, and then two options of jumping on both of your legs one at a time. So the partner who is not at the time doing the jump, they are expected to mark their partner's landing of the jump with chalk and then write the abbreviation for that jump. So if it was a forward jump, it might say FJ. And then once the marks have been made for the starting line and then the finish mark, the partners will work together to measure the length in between the starting line and the ending mark for the unit of measure that they chose to do. And then once they have found their length, they will mark on their data collection sheet how many popsicle sticks long it was, or a Unifix cubes long it was, or rulers long it was, whichever one they chose. And then they will take turns to complete those steps of taking turns of jumping and then measuring until each student has 3 jumps completed on their data measurement sheet. So then once both students in the partnership have 3 jumps recorded on their data collection sheet, they will make comparisons of the measurement lengths. So there will be some blanks on the data collection sheet to fill in, such as numerical representations. An example might be that 8 popsicle sticks is greater than 6 popsicle sticks, but then also the corresponding jumps, such as my forward jump was greater than my squatted jump. And then in the classroom, as a closure, the students will discuss their data with their table groups, and an extension activity could be to collect whole class data on the jump lengths, on which student jumps students chose to do, or which measurement tools students chose to do, to make it more of a data collection and analysis lesson too. So now I have a brief video to demonstrate the lesson procedure. So as you see, one student will draw a chalk line, the other student will do their jump, and then the other partner will mark their landing spot, and then the students might work together to collect the measurement between the starting line and the ending mark of that jump. So for example, in this video, the students chose to use popsicle sticks. And then one of the challenges that we experienced here was making sure that the popsicle sticks were straight to try to get an accurate measurement. So that will be something fun to talk about with your students, to use teamwork to try to get the lines as straight as possible so that the measurement is accurate. And then you could even discuss with them why it wouldn't be accurate if they weren't so straight. And then here the student is counting out the amount of popsicle sticks. And then the student is going to the data collection sheet to record the data that they got for their forward jump. And then the students would repeat this so that until they each had 3 total jumps at least of data. So to go into more detail about the closure of the lesson, students will discuss their data collection with their table groups or any other small groups that you would like to assign them to. During this time, students will be asked to share which jumps they did, which measurement tool they used, and the length of their jumps with the unit of measurement they used. Students will be asked to discuss which one of their jumps was the longest and which one of their jumps was the shortest, and show their peers how they compared that on their data collection sheet. Students will be challenged to discuss the differences in measurement tools that they used and how it affected their data. Additionally, students will be asked to discuss which measurement tool is most effective for the activity and why. For the assessment of the lesson, the teacher will assess students through informal observations during the activity and also formally through the completed data collection sheets. The teacher will assess students' data collection sheets for each objective, which I will now discuss. So there are 3 objectives for the lesson. The first one is that students can measure lengths of at least 3 different kinds of jumps using non-standard measurement tools. The second objective is that students can track data of at least 3 lengths of different kinds of jumps using appropriate labels and units of measure. So that's making sure that students incorporate popsicle sticks if they measured in popsicle sticks, or Unifix cubes, and doing that accurately. And then the third objective is that students can compare measurement data and make at least 1 numerical comparison and 1 abstract comparison. And these 3 objectives will be used when the teacher assesses the students' data collection sheets. So one of the differentiation aspects of the lesson is that students have choices as to which measurement tool that they would like to use. So that gives the students choice and a little bit of ownership in their activity. And then some other accommodation options are that students can read instructions on the data collection sheet, and then they can also watch the teacher model the steps for the activity. And the teacher could create an example of completed data collection sheet for the students to reference. And advanced level math students could be challenged to use standard measurement on the ruler, so collect maybe inches or feet instead of just the amount of rulers. And then English language learners could be partnered with an appropriate partner to make sure that they are being supported by a helpful peer. And then modifications could also be made for students to complete less measurements than expected if that is appropriate for their IEP. So the main focus of this lesson is for students to practice measurement skills, but the lesson could also support counting skills because students will be counting their amount of their measurement. So that will support practice in stable order, one-to-one correspondence, and cardinality. And they will also be practicing their comparison symbols greater than, less than, or equal to. And through those comparisons, they will be demonstrating their understanding of numerosity and number quantity. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video provided you with some inspiration for how to incorporate movement into a future math lesson.